Speel.
Wessel, thanks for taking the time to speak with us after a tough one. What's kind of your takeaways after your first MLS game?
Yeah, first of all, very happy with the debut. I think the result was very unfortunate. We had many chances where we could have put the game over the line, especially if I'm a bit more lucky with the penalty. I think we're in a really, really good spot. Half time, it seemed like we were under control. I think we just conceded some unnecessary goals today, and yeah, tough one, really tough one.
What happened on the PK? It looked like you went the right way. It just kind of snuck under you.
Yeah. I knew he was going left, or at least most of his penalties were either going mid or left. So I said to go earlier, and when I went early, he sort of slipped under me. So it just it was a bit unfortunate.
How do you look at that first goal from Dreyer, from the center circle?
Yeah, no. Again, it's a different level. Some small details I still have to get adjusted to. Read body language better, and I think he just caught me a bit by surprise. And yeah, just again a really unnecessary goal to concede.
How much of a challenge is it to sort of communicate with a new back line playing in your first MLS game?
Yeah, it's definitely challenging, I'd say. I think we had some good communication. I think we definitely had some situations where we could have done better. The language barrier, I think, doesn't help sometimes, but yeah, I think we need to really look at what we can improve there and how to better work together and communicate, because it's such a important aspect.
How do you kind of look at kind of the big picture, knowing that you're starting your career and this might not be how you want to start it, but you've got a lot of road ahead of you?
Yeah, I think it's you have to take all the positive, but definitely look yourself in the mirror and see what you can improve and how you can improve the team, and just game by game, sit with the coaches, train very hard, and just keep improving.
What do you take away from this as maybe positive?
Just these learning moments, communication-wise, just to really now sit together, go over things, because now we have things to discuss and learn about. I think there's some positive actions personally and as a team that we really have to focus on and keep doing, of course. But again, certainly look yourself in the mirror and correct these small details.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thanks for the time.
Hi guys.
Sorry, just laughing at the adjustments of the stick between Wessel and you here.
Wil, what do you feel like were the differences in that second half? You guys let it slip away.
Yeah, I think. Look, we give them credit, right? They're a good team. I think we can deal better with obviously stopping crosses and following runners on runs behind, but ultimately we were in a good position to start the half to win the game. And I think we just got a little bit. We always defend deep, but defending deep and a little bit passive is different than defending deep and biting on guys and being a little bit more aggressive. So I think we lost somewhat of that. Obviously, the penalty comes at maybe a tough time where we don't think it's a penalty and it keeps going, and it is. So, but by and large, I think there's a lot to respect about what they did. There's a lot to look back on our side and be frustrated and a little bit upset about.
In terms of sort of putting your finger on what's going wrong in terms of stopping those runners and stopping those crosses, was it that aggressiveness that just was missing?
I mean, I think it's a little bit of aggressiveness. I think it's also, look, they're a team that risks a ton between the lines. Ultimately, when you think you might have coverage space, they're still risking to play between. So there's times you're just not going to be able to cover those plays. Now I think it's all about then what the recoveries look like and how we're even chipping a runner as he runs through, or dealing with cutback spaces or in-swinging crosses. And a big thing we talk about with our group is blocking crosses. And I think if you look at that, especially the third goal, can we get out and maybe affect it a little bit more? But ultimately, those are good players make good plays. The Dreyer guy, I mean, had himself a really good day, and it's difficult to deal with that. But when they're overloading with so many numbers, the communication has to be super concise and clear, and then just the quick actions of trying to slow their plays down. But ultimately, good teams are going to find ways to cut through you at times.
Did you feel like there were difficulties with communication, maybe more so between the back line and Wessel, and kind of Maybe have not played together.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be a learning curve, right? It's his first game, and you're playing one of the best teams in the league. It's not easy. So I think for him, getting up to speed and kind of weathering the storm, obviously the first goal is one that you don't see very often. So for him to be able to try to come back from that and have the right mentality, I think is good for a young player to see.
What did you say to him at that moment? I saw you go up to him.
Well, he made a save like right before that. I said, "You just made a great save. Like, don't worry about this one. Like, you're fine." And I mean, having been a young player and been on the other side of some tough goals, it's always helpful to have guys just kind of rally behind you.
Do you feel any similarities between this game and the Vancouver game? Obviously, good teams coming here, missing some players, and couldn't take advantage.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I think this one, we were in the game a little bit more, and we were involved in the game, whereas I felt like the Vancouver one, we were almost expecting to win. That's a different feeling. This one was, just little moments, little decisions that maybe didn't go our way or we could be cleaner on that affected the end result, but not the same.
You felt like not a penalty?
I mean, I think Rubio went over and looked at it. You trust that he was able to make the right decision. I don't like it, but it is what it is.
Can you explain the handball rule to everybody?
No, I can't. I'm not even going to try. But I think Ant tries to get his hand out of the way, tries to make it look like it's his head, but ultimately his hand is, I think, in a position where it blocks the cross. So.
Eric talked about Owen maybe taking another step today. What did you feel like you saw from him?
He just continues to be a very calm and mature presence for his age. I think every game that he plays, he's just going to get better and better.
All right, good.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.